In this video, you will learn what data validation is and how to apply different types of data validation to your dataset. Hey friends, welcome to the channel Data with Hina. If you're worrying about entering the wrong data into your Excel sheet and causing errors in your data analysis process, then this video is for you. Today we will explore how to control and to validate data entered into your Excel sheet and prevent causing errors in terms of data types. So let's dive right in. In this Excel file, I have a table, and in this table, I want to add information about employees that work in a company, like their name, their department, their gender, age, hire date, and finally their annual salary. But in the process of writing down these informations, I might make some mistakes and end up causing errors in my dataset. But with the help of data validation, I can prevent this. Data validation is a process that ensures that the data being entered and used in my Excel sheet is complete, is accurate, consistent, and reliable. Now let's go through some important types of data validation here. First, I want to write down the employee's name. But right now, I have no limitation here. I have no validation here. That's why I can enter anything that I want in these cells. For example, I can enter number, text, date, anything that I want. There's no restriction here. But this is the employee name column, and I only want to be able to enter text, and these texts that I want to be able to enter must be less than 20 characters. So that's why I want this criteria to be set here. I will use data validation here. For that, let's go to data tab. I'm already in data tab. Then we will go to data tools group, and here we have data validation. Click on this data validation. Here we have the validation criteria, which says allow any value. Right now it's any value. It means that I can write down anything that I want, but I want it to be text length. Now in the text length, I have many options here: between, not between, equal to, not equal to, greater than, and so on. But I want to use less than here. Here I have to write down a number. I want the number to be 20. What I did here is that I set a rule that this cell is restricted and I am only allowed to enter data in this cell that has the length of less than 20 characters. Let's click OK here. Now let's copy this cell to all of these cells below here, because I want this validation to be applied to all of these cells. Okay, now let's write down a name here, like Madeline Walker. Hit the enter key, it will accept it because Madeline Walker is 15 characters length. If we increase the length of this Madeline Walker, like we will add Jordan here and then hit the enter key, you can see that we have a pop-up message which says this value doesn't match the data validation restrictions defined for this cell, because the Madeline Walker Jordan name is longer than the criteria that we set, which was 20 characters. Click on cancel and it will erase it. Now let's come to department. Now each of these employees work in a department. If I write down each department individually, like for example, Emily Davis works in IT, I will write down IT, then hit the enter key, and the other employee might be working in finance. We will write down it. It seems that it will be a long process, and also I might end up writing the name of these departments wrong, and in the data analysis it will cause me a lot of problems and errors. So to prevent this, we can use a drop-down list here. You can see in the other sheet I have these departments, which are finance, sales, IT, accounting, human resources, engineering, and marketing. I can use it as a reference. So let's go to data tab, delete these ones, and add a data validation here. And here we will set the validation criteria to a list. Now, the source of this list must be in this sheet, these departments. Then we will click on OK. Now you can see that we have this drop-down option here. When we click on this drop-down, we can see these lists here. Based on which department these employees work, we can choose that one, like IT here. For now, let's copy this data validation rule from this cell to all these cells below it. We can use shortcut key Control-Shift down arrow key to select all column. Then I can use Control-D, which will fill down it and all below cells. I will choose IT here. For example, this employee works in accounting, so I will choose accounting, and so on. For the gender, I can also do the same. I will go to the cell of gender, Control Shift down arrow key to select all of this column. Then I will go to data validation here and select list. Then I will choose the source of it from this list, male and female. Then I will click OK. Now you can see that we have this drop down here. Emily, female, Tudor, male, and so on. Okay, the next column is age. And in the age, right now we don't have any restriction here, so I can add anything, but I only want the number, and those numbers must be between 20 and 60 because this company that I work in only allows people who are between 20 and 60 years old to work, not less than 20 and not more than 60. So I will choose this column, Control Shift down arrow key to select all column. Then I will go to data validation here. Then in the validation criteria, this time I will use whole number. Below the data we have options. We will use between here. In the minimum we have 20 and in the maximum we have 60. Then we will click OK. Now let's write down the age of these employees. 30 years old. The other one is 25 years old. Now, by mistake, if we write down 65 and hit the enter key, we will get an error which says this value doesn't match the data validation restrictions defined for this cell. We will click retry, like 45. You can see that it will accept it. Now, the next column is hire date. Suppose this company started in January 1st, 2000. If we write down the hire date of one of these employees by mistake, January 1st, 1999. So it will be wrong, right? That's why we need data validation here. For that, we will select this column, Control Shift down arrow key, data validation, and the validation criteria we will choose date, and in the date we will choose greater than. It means that the date must be greater than the value that we will set here. 1st January 2000. Click OK. Now if we write down the hire date of this employee, like 2 of March of 2010, it will accept it. But if I write down 2 March 1998 and hit the enter key, then it will not accept it. Now the next column is annual salary. Suppose in this company, all employees receive between 5,000 and 10,000 salary. Okay, so I want to restrict these cells to only accept salaries between 5,000 and 10,000. So I will choose all of these cells, then go to data validation. Then in the validation criteria, I will choose decimal because this is a salary and it can have decimal points. And between 5,000 and 10,000. Then click on OK. Now if I write down here like 5,500 and then hit the enter key, it will accept it. If I write down 2,000 here, it will not accept it because 2,000 is less than 5,000. Now let's write down here $6,600.20. It will accept it because this is a decimal point, right? And that was how data validation works. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.